Hi Capricorn, this is your horoscope for March 2019. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Now on the 2nd of March, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, goes into Aquarius and it moves into your second house of money. So you're really going to be interested in creating something that is of value, of service to other people, and you tap into a wonderful spiritual law, which is what you give out, you get back. It's in your second house of money, so you're going to create something that's going to help people. You may communicate something which is really valuable via writing, podcasts, YouTube videos, and you're going to get that value back in the form and shape of money. On the 27th of March, Venus moves into your third house of communication in Pisces, and from then on, you're going to be more interested in being of service through communication. Now on the 5th of March, Mercury, the communication planet, goes into retrograde, and it stays in retrograde until the 28th of March. Mercury is in Pisces in your third house of communication. So is Neptune, the planet of imagination and dreams. Your sun is there as well, your identity. The transiting midheaven, how you feel about work and what your work is. And the moon, the most sensitive part of who you are. So when Mercury goes retrograde, we all have those things of, the ferry doesn't arrive on time and my emails don't get sent. Things like that can happen. But for you, this Mercury retrograde is a gift because it happens in your third house of communication, and with Neptune there, it allows you to spiritually and through your feelings evaluate what it is you're saying. So Pisces is about spirituality, it's about intuitive and psychic ability, it's about creativity and nurturing others. So Venus, remember, is in your second house. You're communicating things and you're making money with it. This Mercury retrograde is going to allow you to evaluate that and say, is this something that I actually dream of doing? Is this something that could turn into work? Is this something I'm comfortable with? Is it something that's building my identity? And or my identity in the sense of my feeling of power and self-esteem. And I think the answer to all of those things is going to be yes. So I think you discover a new way of expressing yourself or being of service to people in some way that actually changes your financial situation. So ask yourself this question, Capricorn, here in March. How can I serve? How can I be of service to people? You'll get loads of ideas immediately. When you put those into practice, you'll see that you serve other people, but that you really get money and social acclaim and success back threefold. So this is a fabulous time to really change what you're doing in terms of your work, but simply by discovering something new. You tap into like a hidden gold mine that you didn't notice was there before. So this Mercury retrograde allows you to step back and actually see it for the first time. On the 6th of March, we have a new moon happening in Pisces, and that also happens in your third house of communication. Now, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but for you guys, Capricorn, it's in your third house of communication, and it's pulling in Pisces energy. So Pisces, like I said, is intuitive and spiritual. It makes it even easier for you to look at what you're doing from a spiritual perspective and whether it's spiritually sound and it's helping people or whether it's doing damage. If you're saying, how can I serve people and help? You're good to go, and you're going to have even more energy now on the 6th of March. If the answer is no, then it's going to guide you towards something where you can help. On the 7th of March, something really big happens. Uranus is an outer planet and it doesn't change signs very often. So Uranus leaves Aries and it goes into Taurus, and it stays there until 2025, 2026, so the next 6 to 7 years. So it's in Taurus and it's going to have an effect on the global economy. It's going to have an effect on finances, the way we see them. But in your case, it moves into Taurus in your 5th house of romance and relationships. So Uranus is about electricity and energy and the miraculous and the unexpected, and putting a plug in a socket so that the appliance works. It's real energy. So in your 5th house of romantic relationships, over the next 6 to 7 years, you're really going to be energized and empowered. There's going to be a lot more activity in your 5th house of romantic relationships and children and having fun. Uranus is difficult to predict because it is such a chaotic and unexpected and miraculous kind of planet. But what we do know is that this area of your life is going to become much more active. So if you're single, it's likely that you'll meet someone. If you're in a relationship, you can either fix the problems that you've got in that relationship and get some of the sensuality back. Taurus is really about being earthy and luxurious and kind of feeling good in the body, and it's the most earthy of all the signs. If you're retired from dating, or you're a widow or a widower and you're like, no, I'm done, don't be surprised if someone suddenly appears out of nowhere and you hadn't planned for it, because Uranus is a master at kind of, wow, I didn't expect this. And those are the best things in life, the things that you hadn't expected. So it sits in your 5th house for the next 6 to 7 years. So that's gonna keep you busy with the Venus in your 2nd and the 3rd house, evaluating what you're doing. Is it good for other people? And experiencing some sort of surprise in your romantic life. On the 20th of March, we have a full moon, which is also a supermoon, happening in your 10th house of career. Supermoon is when the moon is closer to the earth. It looks bigger. The first 3 moons of this year have been supermoons, and they affect us more because they're closer to the earth. So it's in Libra in your 12th house. It allows you to communicate with people from every creed, race, religion, gender. There's no block between you and anybody in your career, and that allows you to connect with people in your working life in a way that you haven't been able to before. It also means that if you're in a line of business where you have to apply for projects, or you have to apply for grants and things like that, the 19th, 20th and 21st are the best times to do it. And also, if you're unemployed and if you're job seeking, those 3 days are the best days to make a connection and to find work or to start your own business. The spring equinox happens on the 20th of March as well, so there's equality between night and day. Spring has sprung if you're in the northern hemisphere. And also the sun moves into Aries and it goes into your 4th house of family. So you're now really much more concerned with maintaining good relationships, fixing relationships which may have been painful in the past, and you're really able to overcome obstacles that held you back before. So if you were uptight in the past and you were unwilling to speak about certain subjects, you're going to be wide open now, and you're going to allow relationships to come in and to really discuss things. So that's I really think from the 20th of March until the end of March, use that opportunity to amend certain relationships, especially if it's your family. On the 31st of March, we've got Mars, the male principle, going into Gemini in your 6th house of work. So you enter April here with a really strong focus on work, what you're going to say in your working life, what it is you want to achieve. And the moon is in Aquarius in your 2nd. So you have done something in March that has made you feel very comfortable about money and the value you add to other people's lives. So you may now make changes to your routine, to your work. In April, you may transition out of a working situation into a new one. If you're retired, you may have found something that adds value and that you can do in your retirement and that you really enjoy. So whatever situation you're in, you've got new info and a new way of working with people which adds value to their lives and which brings you joy, and you get lots of value back. So that's what I get for you here in March. I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to audio reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. The astrology chart is a blueprint of your soul. It's amazing that I have access to this stuff. It's a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born. It shows me where you've been in past lifetimes, what your life purpose is this time around, what your vocational aptitudes are, what's destined for you in career and love and money and moving and relationships and family and children. I can compare your chart with someone else and see if you're compatible. I can also look at what's coming up in future by using the predictive astrology and the tarot. So if you're interested in any of that, then please get in touch with me for a personal reading. I hope you have a wonderful, lovely March, and I'll speak to you next month.